Coming to you live from the palatial studios of PBJ Productions. Welcome to Patrick and BJ Talk Real Estate, where we talk about life, the universe, and everything as it relates to real estate. Hey everybody, it's BJ
and Patrick,
and we're back talking all things real estate. Thank you for joining us today, and especially want to thank all of our subscribers and as our numbers are going up and up for subscriptions, and just want to encourage you to subscribe so that you don't miss anything that we're covering on the channel. We're publishing multiple episodes every week, so you want to make sure that you catch everything. So make sure that you subscribe and help us, because our next goal, now that we're well over 100 subscribers, our next goal is to get to 500 subscribers. So help us out with that as well. And here we are.
Yeah, and if you have any questions about real estate, you can put it in the comments below. You can direct message us. And if you're thinking about buying or selling in the Victoria, Southern Vancouver Island, we can help you with that. Just give us a message, and But in this video, we're going to be talking about what we think is going to happen with the real estate market in 2024.
Right.
So our predictions.
And I think one thing I just want to say too is put in the comments, what do you think the market's going to do? We want to hear from you too, right? What are your thoughts about the real estate market in 2024? Especially, we're talking about the greater Victoria area here. But maybe it's relevant for your market of where you're at, where we want to hear that too. So
yeah, if it's a comment, if you're anywhere around Canada, let us know what it's like over there and what do you think it's going to happen.
Or in the States, for that matter.
Or in the States, absolutely.
Right.
Well, that's
really wherever.
The whole North America is very geographically diverse, right? With like places that could be up, could be down, could be stagnant, could be maybe not affected by the market.
Sure.
So
I think the one thing I want to do is just to preface what we're going to talk about. There's a lot of things going on right now about what's happening with the economy and inflation and cost of living and all of these things. Just let's understand something about Victoria's economy. Victoria's economy is driven by three things. It is driven by IT, so the IT sector, which is, everybody's got different things that they're doing in terms of how they navigate this market, and the economy, but the IT sector continues to hum along because we're getting more and more connected by the minute, really.
Right. There's a little bit more location independence with the tech industry.
Sure. Yeah.
Not always, but there is.
IT. Number two is the government.
Government. Yeah. What do we have here? We have other than we are the capital of British Columbia. Yeah. We have the military base.
Yeah.
Right. We have how many hospitals? We have two major hospitals.
Yeah.
And we have universities.
Yeah.
So we have a ton of federal or public sector. That's what I'll call it.
Yeah. So and the thing about the government is we know the government's not going anywhere.
No.
Right. So there's
we're still the capital.
Yeah. And number three, the third thing that drives Victoria's economy is tourism. And this year we saw a real bounce back in terms of the cruise ships coming through. And
cruise ships are back, yeah.
Yeah, and the whole tourism part of things. And one of the things too about tourism with the greater Victoria area and the island is because we are so close to the U.S., here's the thing, if let's say there's a slowdown in the economy for some reason, if you're in the U.S., you can come and vacation in Victoria at 30% off because of your dollar.
With the exchange rate, yeah. So it makes it affordable for Americans to come up this way.
Which used to be the norm before COVID.
And what's the fun little thing for real estate? The foreign buyer ban doesn't apply to recreation properties owned by Americans.
Okay. All right. So
no, I'm sure there's some more details around that. That's a very surface statement.
Yeah.
So don't take my word for it. Always double check. And we're here to do that, right? Like, for our clients, if you are American, you're coming up here and you're thinking, I want a cottage property up on Lake Cowichan, but it's got to be waterfront. But then, it can't be across the street. So there's things that, you have to look into the details.
For sure.
That's another conversation.
And in that note, too, if you want to find out about waterfront properties, we did a whole piece where we were up at Cowichan.
Yep, lakefront properties and oceanfront properties. Yes,
so
absolutely.
Look that one up if you want to find out about lakefront properties. Right. But
predictions.
Say, with all that said, as the preface of kind of where we're at, we had Dave from Olympic Mortgages on last week, and we were talking about what the interest rates were going to do and what was happening with the market. And we kind of came to the agreement that it looks like interest rates are going to stay the same. And at some point here in the next year's third quarter, fourth quarter, we're expecting to see a potential reduction in interest rates.
Funny. We had that interview with David, and I'll put his information in the in below, and you can check out the previous video on his comments. But he was talking about that prediction, and then all of a sudden, I think my phone is like spying on me or us. And all of a sudden, I get all these articles of like, oh, it could happen in the first quarter. It could happen in the first half of the year.
Yeah.
They're looking at 3 different.
Right.
So let's say it's likely that.
Yeah. So let's say that's what
That's
happens.
correct.
Here's what we know historically in Victoria's market. When there's been a downturn, within 12 to 18 months of that downturn in the real estate market, there's been a rebound to past where it was prior to that downturn. So if we're expecting to see interest rates come down in the upcoming year, what we can expect is that we're going to see prices come up in accordance with that. Where we're also, I believe, so we're going to see, I think we're going to see the market pick up. I think we're going to see, there's more listings coming on the market right now. So it's become a little bit more of a buyer's market right now.
Definitely,
with the inventory.
And we're in December right now, so like the pace of December.
Yeah. I think the market is more seasonal, like it used to be. So pre-2016, it was seasonal.
So back to normal is what you're saying,
right? Yeah. So I think we're going to see the market be a little bit more normal. I think we're going to slowly start to see prices maybe flatten and start to just nudge back up a little bit. I'll tell you from a commercial point of view right now. There is not a whole lot of leasable retail commercial space out there, and what's out there is taken off like that and going into multiple offers actually in some cases.
Wow.
So I think we're going to see, that's my prediction, is by the end of 2024, I think we're going to see prices going back up. We're going to see what I would call a more healthy, balanced market, and we are going to see some stuff going into multiples.
That's interesting. And I know we can have multiple offers in any given market.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if it's the slowest market, all of a sudden, by happenstance, this is the unpredictability about real estate where you can, the house could be on the market for 6 months, could be on the market for a year. And then all of a sudden you have 2 buyers at the same time.
Yep.
And you have a great offer. Possibly, right? Anything can happen that way.
Yeah.
I could definitely see a rally, some confidence coming back into the market by springtime. I've seen this over and over again in my past 20 years when there's a policy change, government change, stress test, minimum down payment, HST being removed. We went from HST. HST was rammed down our throats, and then everybody got upset, so we got that removed. We only have GST, so we have GST and PST separate. But that slowed down the market for a little while. Every time one of these major changes happen, or right now, like interest rates are made all these moves, at some point people are sick and tired of waiting.
Yep.
Of sitting, on the sidelines or in the stands, and they want to get on the field and play.
Yep.
Right? They want to score the big touchdown. So, I think that rally is going to come at springtime. Will the prices go up? Maybe slightly. I think we're going to be in a market where we still have to be used to a low amount of inventory. We're not at our lowest low, but it's nothing like 5,000. I don't think we're going to reach 5,000 listings, but I've been rooting for about 3,500 listings. That would be great. There would be just enough to choose from for my clients, so they can find places that they want. And without being in a rush. And not necessarily getting into multiple offers, because that's another problem when the market's too hot and everything is multiple offers. Buyers experience, and I experience it too, but we just keep going. Buyer fatigue. We're just sick and tired. We made 10 offers, 12 offers. 6 offers,
Sure.
and then you finally get something. Everybody's exhausted by the time you got something.
Yep.
So this is going to be really, I think, a great market to move up. Where, this is where I'll say this. Next year, I think, is a great year to move up in a property, because if you're moving up, the pendulum has swung higher on more expensive homes, and the price reductions will be greater on higher price homes.
Yeah.
If you're somewhere near the middle or entry level, your number hasn't swung
As much,
down
yeah.
as much.
Yeah, for sure.
So the gap between where you're aiming for and the house where you're at now, condo, townhouse, whatever, is smaller.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? You're going to save money on your property transfer tax on the purchase,
Yeah.
because it's come down more. Your fees on real estate, in general, your fees are probably going to be less if it's based on a percentage,
Based on the
depending
price,
on
yeah.
that percentage
On sale
being,
price, yeah.
being charged.
Yeah.
So that's how I could see, and then you're not likely to be in a multiple offer. I'm not saying it can't happen, especially if it's desirable property that everybody wants, and
Yeah.
it ticks off
Yeah.
all the boxes.
Yeah. The interesting thing I'm seeing too is there are multiple offers seem to be more in the entry and mid-level properties right now, because those, the 1 and 2 bedroom condos,
Yeah.
they are, if they're, just like you said, if they're priced right in a good location with good amenities, they are certainly, there's a huge level of interest, right?
Well, it's the entry level home,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Touching on the condos, the formerly allowed to have Airbnb short-term rentals.
Oh yeah.
I think they're going to have a tough season.
Yes.
I think they're going to have a tough year. I can't remember how many are listed right now. There's probably about 60 listed. And I think the last video we did, when we touched on that, there was no sales. And I think there's about 4 sales now.
And they're considerably less.
They're considerably less, but they also come with no parking. They're smaller.
Yeah.
It's not, like we've said before, they're not really meant for long-term living. I'm not saying people can't adjust to it.
Yep.
I think as my kids reach 18, 19 years old, and if instead of renting, I would totally encourage them, even if it's one of these Airbnbs. I don't care. You get on that property ladder.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm telling my kids. Get on the property ladder. I don't care if it's a shoebox that used to be an Airbnb. You get into something, start paying it down. This market, the Airbnb condo market will recover.
Yep.
You know how I know that? Remember leaky condos?
Yep.
And they took a massive hit with
Sure.
with their remediations.
Yes.
And they tanked on values. If you just held on.
Yep.
Now I know sometimes the remediation costs were $50K or something, and not everybody's got $50K that they can pull. They couldn't even pull it out of equity.
No equity. Yeah.
Right, because the bank didn't want to risk that either.
Sure. Yeah.
So
And
they all recovered.
Sure. Less of an extreme in terms of it was the leaky condo, and it didn't go back on the owners, but I think of Shutters, where they had the water issue with the pool and going down into the parkade or whatever it was, and so that went back on the builder to resolve the water issue and everything else like that. So
Right.
there was a period of time where it was Shutters was a little bit iffy, but
Right, because of the work and warranty or quality of
or
work,
whatever.
Yeah.
But if you look at Shutters now, what do you get in a 2-bedroom condo in Shutters at?
I don't remember.
Yeah. One over $1 million, for sure.
Yeah. You know what? A general statement. Nothing about shutters. When you put a pool on a roof, I probably expect it to leak.
They're not the only ones that have done it. So
I know, but
right? But
it's just
anyway, Yeah. So that's kind of so our take on it. My take on it is I think the market is going to stay. It's going to be a little bit slower going into the new year, and that's a seasonal thing because that's what it used to be normally. I think we're going to see it pick up in the spring, and I believe that we're going to see some kind of rebound in the prices by the end of the year if we're expecting the interest rates to adjust based on what we're hearing, and just from like our conversation with David, that's kind of where I think we're going to end up. And I agree with you. Is this a good time to buy? It's a great time. You have to make the numbers work, obviously, but it's a great time to upgrade. It's a great time if you've got equity in your place to look at other options, because you're also going to see some of these condos that are or were short-term rentals.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can figure out a way to make that work, that may be an option as well.
Yeah, I think it's gonna present new opportunities.
Yeah.
Quality homes, quality locations, I think will always retain their value.
Yeah.
Like they might adjust in price a little bit, but overall they're gonna have the least impact on really quality homes.
Yeah.
Homes with needing a lot of repairs, horrible locations, bad lots, things that you can't like renovate or fix will probably take the biggest hit.
Yeah.
If you're looking to get into something and build equity repairing something, that might be still an opportunity. And I think that happens every time the market takes a drop.
Yeah.
The ones that are least desirable take the biggest hit. But then, of course, knowing that like you bought something with a horrible lot, you might have bought it at a good price. You have to understand like you have to sell it at a good price.
At a good price, yeah.
Or it's your long-term home, and you don't worry about like, oh, maybe part of your lot's a cliff or something or unusable.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that wraps it up. I think
Okay, yeah.
like the sky is not falling. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And if your timing is that you need to buy or you need to sell or you need to move for job transfer or other things that happen in life, well, it's all doable. It's all possible.
Yeah, for sure. And like we said, if you have specific questions about the market here on Vancouver Island, feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help you with that. If you have questions about a market that you're in, reach out to us, because we may have contacts in those markets as well that can help you with those kind of things. And thank you again for subscribing. And as I said, our new goal for subscriptions is 500. So help us to get there. And you know what? I don't know when this is going to air, but
Soon.
This is going to air soon. So I also want to say Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
because
Merry Christmas to everyone.
Right, we're reading right up to Christmas. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all of those things. And
be safe out there, and we will see you in the next video.
see ya.